Good morning and welcome to the Breakfast Rundown with me, Zulfick Farzan. On the 21st of September, Sri Lankans, 17 million to give an approximate number, will head to polls to elect the new president of the country. Now today is the final day or the last opportunity for eligible postal voters to go into district secretariats and the designated election polling centres to exercise their postal voting franchise. Now the chairman of the Election Commission, Nal Rajaka, has announced that postal voting will be conducted at the designated polling centres from 8:30 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. Now earlier on the 4th, 5th and 6th of September, eligible government employees were given the opportunity to vote by post at designated voting centres within their workplaces. Now this year, a total of 736,589 government employees qualified for postal voting. Now in light of the postal voting activities, Sri Lanka Police implemented a special security program at the district secretariats to ensure a smooth process. At the same time, the Department of Posts reported that 80% of the secured packets of postal voting ballots have already been handed over to the district returning officers. Now at the same time, there is a rise in election complaints received by the Election Commission ahead of the presidential election. Now the Election Commission has announced that it has resolved 2,638 complaints that were filed with regard to the Election Commission. Now in total, the Election Commission had received 3,406 complaints to date. Now among these, 3,305 complaints relate to the violation of election laws, while 28 complaints relate to acts of violence. Now as we head to the presidential election, the campaign trail is heating up, with some of the main candidates making startling revelations on the political stage and levelling various accusations against each other. Now one of the key topics on the election platform is the economy. Now let me give you a brief background. Now this is the first election that Sri Lanka will be having since the economic collapse in 2022. Now independent presidential candidate and current president Ranil Wickremesinghe has called on the people of Sri Lanka to make a decisive choice to protect the economic stability of the country on the 21st of this month. Now speaking in the east of the country, Wickremesinghe highlighted his efforts to support the nation during a time of crisis. Now he also expressed sorrow for the suffering of the people and the collapsing economy. He pointed out the recent reduction in fertilizer prices and the elimination of farmers' loans as measures taken to support the agricultural sector of the country. Now Ranil Wickremesinghe has also questioned his political opponents Sajith Premadasa and Anura Kumara on their contributions to the farmers and the economy. Now he said when he took up the challenge, he approached the IMF, he went to the world leaders and spoke to them and in order to obtain relief for the country. He said that his efforts to stabilize the economy are now bearing fruit. Wickremesinghe has urged the public to confirm the stable economy that he has established, stating that the upcoming vote is not about ethnicity or religious matters but about the future of the country. Now he also criticized his political opponents for not reducing the burden of life and for handing over the country's challenges to him. Wickremesinghe urged the citizens to consider their future and make a decisive choice on the 21st of September. Now another presidential candidate is Sajith Premadasa, the son of late President Ranasinghe Premadasa. Now Sajith Premadasa is also the leader of the opposition and is representing the Samagi Janabala Vegya in his run for president. Now Sajith Premadasa has vowed to address the housing crisis faced by residents within the Colombo Metropolitan Municipality. Now he has emphasized his dedication in making an apartment and city house complex a reality in Colombo. Now criticizing the current administration, Sajith Premadasa noted the lack of effective programs to resolve the housing issues. He said that starting from the 21st of September, a modernist development program for the capital area will be launched. Now he also highlighted the importance of addressing malnutrition among children and supporting mothers whom he described as the most valuable resource. Now, reflecting on his father's legacy, Sathit Premadasa recalled a speech made in Kirulapana, where his father had expressed confidence that the truth would always prevail. And Sathit Premadasa said, on the 21st of September, the day the presidential election takes place, the truth will also prevail in Sri Lanka. Now, another presidential candidate is Anura Kumara Dissanayake. Now, Anura Kumara Dissanayake is representing the National People's Power. Now, the NPP presidential candidate has pledged to rejuvenate the country's economy if elected. Now, speaking ahead of the most vital presidential election, Dissanayake has outlined his vision for economic transformation. Now, he has also criticized the current economic state, attributing its decline to policies of his opponent Ranil Wickremesinghe. Now, Dissanayake specifically pointed to the burden of international sovereign bonds, which he claims were irresponsibly acquired by the Wickremesinghe administration. He went on to note it was during Wickremesinghe's administration that almost $12.5 billion worth of ISBs were issued. Dissanayake has also stressed the importance of utilizing the country's resources and understanding global economic dynamics. He criticized the current administration's focus on commissions and questioned their ability to implement meaningful economic reforms in the country. Now, Dissanayake has also acknowledged the challenges ahead, but remained optimistic about the potential for change. At the same time, the youngest presidential candidate this year is Nal Rajaka. Who is Nal Rajaka? He is from the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna, and he is the son of former President Mahinda Rajapaksa, the leader of the SLPP, and also the nephew of former President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. Now, Nal Rajaka has affirmed his party's commitment to its principles and policies, stating that they will not be compromised for privileges. Now, Rajapaksa has outlined his vision for the future of Sri Lanka, emphasizing the need for a technological revolution. Nal Rajaka highlighted the importance of technological revolution to address the country's challenges. Now, addressing the issue of economic management, Rajapaksa criticized simplistic solutions such as increasing prices and reducing consumption. Now, as the political stage heats up, a key development that is taking place in the economic world is Sri Lanka's dollar bonds. Now, earlier this week, Bloomberg had reported that a sell-off of Sri Lanka's dollar bonds has intensified as investors reduce their exposure to the country due to rising political uncertainties ahead of the election later this month. Now, the country's dollar bonds had fallen by 3 cents on the dollar to 49.9 cents, marking the lowest level since February and extending their decline from the previous peak this year about 15%. Similarly, notes due in 2027 dropped more than 1 cent to 49.6 cents. Bloomberg is also reporting that market pressure has increased as the September 21 elections approach, with investors concerned that a change in leadership could disrupt the ongoing debt negotiations that are close to completion. It says that opposition leaders have indicated their intentions to renegotiate the terms of the IMF program with the International Monetary Fund. Now, the JVP has responded to these claims, and its General Secretary Tilwin Silva said that as the National People's Power victory approaches in the presidential election, opposition political groups have begun to attempt to destabilize the country. He also clarified his party's position with regard to the IMF program at a media briefing yesterday. Now, Tilwin Silva, the General Secretary of the JVP, clarifying the party's stance on the IMF agreement, said that they do not wish to cancel the agreement. However, certain unfavorable conditions within the agreement would be revisited under their administration. Now, Silva also made it clear that the National People's Power has a comprehensive plan and policies in place supported by a strong public mandate. Now, addressing concerns about instability, Silva reassured that the NPP is focused on building a strong and stable government. He also dismissed rumors of impending conflicts and attacks on opponents, labeling them as baseless accusations. Now, it must be noted that the Bloomberg article had also quoted a senior emerging market sovereign debt strategist at MNG, which is based in London, Purvi Harlalka. Now, quoting this individual, Bloomberg said that the current weakness in Sri Lankan bonds reflect the heightened uncertainty around election outcomes and consequently the timeline of restructuring. He also added that a possible NPP victory would push the timeline considerably beyond what the market was previously expecting. Now, another development in Sri Lanka is one local government body, that's the Alpitiya Pradeshia Sabha. Now, the deadline for the submission of nominations for this local government body ends at noon. Now, the Election Commissioner General Samansi Ratnayaka said that as of now, 8 recognized political parties and 1 individual group has placed securities to contest the Alpitiya Pradeshia Sabha election. Now, today is Prisoners' Day. In a significant move to mark Prisoners' Day here in Sri Lanka, a state pardon has been granted to 350 prisoners. Now, this amnesty is being conferred by the President, utilizing the powers vested in him under Article 34, of the Constitution. Now, in addition to the state pardon, a scholarship program for the children of incarcerated individuals will also be launched today. Well, that brings an end to this morning's edition of the Breakfast Rundown with me, Zulfick Farzan. Until I meet you again tomorrow morning, same time, same place, take care and God bless.